Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about what everybody else is talking about across the old landscape, and that's got to be the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Saquon Barkley himself. If you turn on any TV show right now, whether it's ESPN, Fox, anything on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, they are talking about how great Saquon Barkley is. They're talking about how amazing Saquon Barkley is. And all right, so Saquon Barkley should be the center of attention, and he has been all week. Hell, he's been the center of attention all freaking year. Let's just be honest. But the Kansas City Chiefs defense under Steve Spagnuolo has not allowed a 100-yard rusher in 18 playoff games. 18 playoff games, they have not allowed a 100-yard rusher. Saquon Barkley has 3 games under 100 yards, which he did play the full game in, right? So, guys, how can the Kansas City Chiefs legitimately contain Saquon Barkley? How can they go out there and how can they contain Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl Sunday matchup? As you guys know, Saquon Barkley has not been stopped all season long. Game after game after game, he seems to break that big 50, 60, 70, 80-yard run and racks up those yards. Now, he has drives and series which he's been stopped, right? There's been a series or drive here which he's only had like 2 yards or negative yardage, but not the whole game. Let's just be honest. In those series, the defense had to be 100% on roll or on point. The defenses, when Saquon Barkley does get stops, has to know their roles, execute them perfectly, and be 100%. This is how the Kansas City Chiefs can contain Saquon Barkley. You are not going to stop Saquon Barkley. Let's just be flat out honest about that. The man's averaging 6 yards a carry in the playoffs and average 5.7 yards a carry in the regular season. You are not going to stop that man. Let's just be honest. You can hope to contain him. But this is how the Kansas City Chiefs guys can contain him. First things first, if I was Steve Spagnuolo, which I aspire to be like Steve Spagnuolo when I call my defenses at the high school level. But Steve Spagnuolo and the Kansas City Chiefs need to take away the A gaps and the B gaps. That is what they need to do. They need to pinch down and make the field wide. Make it super, super wide. Saquon Barkley cannot be running north and south on you through the A gap and through the B gap. You have to make him go east and west. When I say east and west, guys, football fields should be facing north and south. So when you go east and west, you're going sideline to sideline. That is not good if you are a running back. Secondly, you have to make contact with him at the line of scrimmage. You cannot let him get a full head of steam. He is a very, very fast man. He definitely runs a 4.4. Very few people are going to chase him down. I don't think anybody's going to be able to chase him down, right? Much like when you defend Derrick Henry, you have to hit him low and hit him early and hit him often. Make contact with him at the line of scrimmage. Once he gets 2 yards or on that second line on the defense, it is game over, lights out. So key number 1 is you have to take away the A gaps and the B gaps. Force the flow outside to where the linebackers can run free and mirror Saquon Barkley's moves. So Chris Jones and like Dana and Frankenstein and the rest of those guys, they need to be disciplined and not come upfield. They need to break the hips of the lineman and kind of just sit. Don't worry about getting sacks. Don't worry about getting tackles for loss. I want you to pinch the gaps and spread the field and make him go Saquon Barkley east and west. If the Kansas City Chiefs can do this effectively, let's say about 90% of the time, if they do not play selfish football 90% of the time, and they're making Saquon Barkley run east and west 90% of the time, the Kansas City Chiefs can not only contain Saquon Barkley, they might be able to shut him down. They might be able to shut down the running game, and bada bing, bada boom, it is lights out for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then key number 2, the second key, is you do not want to go for the sacks. I understand that Jalen Hurts has been sacked 12 times this postseason so far. Hell, was it the Rams game? He was sacked 6 or 7 times, something crazy, right? Jalen Hurts has been taking a lot of sacks because he likes to read the ball or read the field, survey the field, make sure they're wide open. He would almost rather take a sack than to throw the interceptions. Kansas City Chiefs, do not get baited into that. Do not get baited into going for the sacks, because Once you start going for the sacks, you start to pin your ears back. Bada bing, bada boom. You break that front line. Bada bing, bada boom. That A gap is now wide open. Bada bing, bada boom. That B gap is now wide open. And now Saquon Barkley is one-on-one with Bolton, with Tranquil. And I'm going to give the edge to Saquon Barkley if he's going to head-to-head with Bolton and Tranquil, play after play after play. You don't want to let Saquon Barkley get up to the second line. It is what it is. It is what it is. So key number one, take away A gaps and B gaps, force the flow to the outside where the linebackers can run free and mirror the moves. Number two, do not go for big sacks or tackles for losses. Just break the hips of the lineman, sit down and make Saquon Barkley think about what he's going to do. Because when a player starts thinking and not reacting, he's stepping slow and boom, baby, lights out. And number three, hit him hard, hit him early, hit him often. Do not let him get to the second line of defense. Do not let him get to the third line of defense. I don't care if it's Justin Reed and Eric Berry and Honey Badger all out there on the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not stopping Saquon Barkley if it gets to the third level. Let's just be flat out honest about that. So, guys, what do you think? How can the Kansas City Chiefs contain Saquon Barkley? I didn't say stop. I said contain. Hopefully, they contain him about 90% of the time. If that happens, they're going to be successful. So, guys, how do you guys think that they can contain it, right? How can they contain it? Josh Olson is in the chat today. He says that's why Jamar's last name is Chase, because defenders have a hard time chasing him down. But Saquon's last name is Barkley because opposite defending is basically Fuckley trying to stop him. Josh, I like that. I like that. I mean, the only way you can hope to contain, let me put the emphasis on there, contain Saquon Barkley, because you're not going to stop him. You are not going to be like the Cleveland Browns back in November and only let him rush for 44 yards in that snow-covered game, right? You aren't going to be like the the Green Bay Packers week one, only giving him like 30 yards, right? You can only hope to contain him. But yeah, I think you are right. I think you're right. West Philly Black is in the chat today. What's up, West Philly? He says Eagles will blow out the Kansas City Chiefs. Eagles have the best roster in the NFL. Hey, West Philly, your score has changed. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? You had 45-21. Now you're saying 42-19. Okay, coming down a little lower. All right. And guys, let's go ahead and give this guy a little bit of credit.